from the Cars 2 storybook collection. This is Dust Up in the Desert. El Machismo raced across the dry lake bed in the canyon. The rocks he went over didn't bother him at all. This is what he was used to. This is what he was built for. Oh, yeah! The truck yelled gleefully, enjoying every bump and bounce. Watching from above, Chick Hicks kept a close eye on his prized student. A sly smile crossed Chick's bumper. El Machismo is going to crush Lightning McQueen at Autovia. Ha ha! Autovia was a super tough desert track. The next destination in the Race-O-Rama racing series. The event would be a relay race with 2 cars from each rival school. The fabulous Hudson Hornet Academy and the Chick Hicks Racing Academy. The race was just a few days away, and Doc still needed to find a teammate for Lightning. However, none of his students had experience with harsh terrain. Sarge wasn't a student, but he stopped by to watch his friends practice. "Don't you know how to hill climb?" he yelled. "What if you get stuck in a silt bed?" Lightning pulled alongside the 4x4. "Hey, Sarge, if you know so much about desert terrain, why don't you race with me?" Sarge was stunned. I've never raced before." "How about I teach you how to race, and you teach me all about driving off-road," suggested Lightning. "All right, soldier. That sounds like a plan," said Sarge, "but kiss the racetrack goodbye. When I'm finished with you, you'll have dirt in places you didn't know you had." Training started at dawn the next morning in a nearby canyon. "Drop and give me 25 miles. Go!" Sarge barked. Doing 25 miles was no problem for Lightning. Doing it on rocky terrain was a different story. "Ow, ow, ow," he said as he bumped along. "You need better tires, soldier," yelled Sarge. "This isn't a stadium." Lightning talked Sarge that racing against Chick Hicks took some special maneuvers. "Chick Hicks doesn't play fair, so the plan is to be prepared for the unexpected," said Lightning. He put Sarge through an obstacle course full of surprises. Sarge saved the most important lesson for last. To win this race, you have to know how to handle one thing: silt. Lightning frowned. "Silt? You mean the dusty dirt in old lake beds? That's the big important lesson?" Sarge looked at Lightning, deadly serious. "Listen up, soldier. Make sure you're in the lead before the course goes into the silt beds. Then keep pushing the gas. If you don't, you'll get stuck. It's impossible to see through, and you'll want to stop. Don't. Just keep going." "Yes, sir," Lightning replied. Race day finally arrived. The 2 teams rolled into Autovia amid cheers and boos. Both Lightning and Chick had new modifications, including fog lights and all-terrain tires. "Bow down to the Tower of Power! Oh, yeah!" El Machismo called to the crowd. "I think it's time that oversized heap of metal learned how to lose gracefully," said Sarge. Sarge and Chick would be racing first. They rolled forward to the starting line. "Get ready to lose, old man," Chick said to Sarge, gunning his motor. "Get ready to wave your white flag of surrender," replied Sarge, narrowing his eyes. Soon the green flag waved and the race began. About a quarter of the way through the race, Chick sped in front of Sarge and released a bunch of bolts on the ground behind him. It was one of his favorite nasty tricks. But Sarge remembered what Lightning had taught him. He veered off the path to avoid the bolts and swiftly handled the rocky terrain. Then he headed to the pit stop. Meanwhile, Chick was too busy looking at what Sarge was doing. Crash! Chick collided with a giant cactus. Ouch! Covered with needles, Chick limped to the pit stop where El Machismo was waiting. "You make sure you beat that Lightning McQueen," Chick said sternly. "We can't lose this race." "No problem," said El Machismo. "Wait till I get him on the dirt. I'll shred him like paper." Chick was pleased, but just in case, he had a backup plan. To guarantee Lightning wouldn't even finish the race, Chick planned to move the course marker. Lightning would be headed off course without even knowing it. El Machismo and Lightning both roared onto the course for the final leg of the race. Both cars zoomed across the desert plains, around tight corners, and over a rickety bridge. When El Machismo jumped a hill, there was so much space between him and the ground that it looked like he was flying. Uh-oh, thought Lightning. This guy is tougher than I thought. Lightning remembered that he needed to be in front before he hit the silt beds. So just as the path narrowed, he pulled into the lead. When he reached the silt beds, clouds of dusty sand exploded all around him. He was just about to slow down when he remembered what Sarge had told him. Lightning kept moving forwards and pushed through the heavy silt. He couldn't see a thing, but he didn't dare stop. After one last push, Lightning finally made it out. "Now that's what I call off-road racing," he exclaimed. All the dust from the silt beds rained down on Chick, who was hiding behind a large rock near the silt beds. Chick was blinded by the dust, but he heard a car race by. He used his windshield wipers to clear his view and then hurried to move the course marker before the next car came through. "This will teach that hotshot to mess with Chick Hicks," he said. "Let's see how he likes a detour." At the same time, Lightning glanced to the side and was surprised that El Machismo wasn't there. In fact, the truck was nowhere in sight. Lightning, however, did see the finish line in front of him. He crossed it with no problem. Ka-chow! "Wait!" yelled Chick. "You were supposed to take the detour." The race officials didn't like the sound of that and took Chick in for questioning. Lightning and Sarge were awarded the Silver Tailfin Trophy. "Congratulations on winning your first race," Lightning said to Sarge. "Thanks, soldier. We make a pretty good team," Sarge replied. Meanwhile, El Machismo had finally found his way back to the finish line. "What? I lost?" he yelled. "Oh no!" The end.